Welcome to Elevated Pairings, where we explore the intricate connections between golf and whiskey. Welcome Golfcast Nation, this is Brian Bailey here bringing you Elevated Pairings, start lines and barrel types. This is where we merge and fuse whiskey and golf together. So today we're going to explore the start line in putting. Face controls where the ball goes just as much as the flavor of your whiskey is really driven by the barrel and the aging process. So we're going to talk start lines and barrels. So with putting, I'm sitting here at about 8 feet, should be about a 50% make rate. But if I set up start line wise, if I set up with my face relatively square to target, my body relatively neutral to that zone, and I just take the putter back and through relatively straight, the ball should go straight in the hole. But if I do that same motion and I actually open the face, so I'm going to point right, the ball will actually go to the right. And if I do the exact opposite, if I go here and I close the face, now the ball should go left of the hole. So that is my ability to when at impact where my face points, the ball is going to go. The studies show that anywhere from 85 to 90% of start line is really controlled by where your face, not the path where the putter is moving in space, but where the face is. Whiskey is very similar. Most people think grains, mash, and distillant gives it its flavor. It doesn't. It gives it its core, its DNA. The actual barrel in whiskey aging process gives it the most flavor and its complexities. So maturation in a barrel is equivalent to that of start line. It takes time and the different types of woods to be able to create different flavor profiles. So what we're going to talk about are the three main types of wood casks. We have American white oak, think bourbon. We have French oak, and we also have Japanese oak. So let's dive in here and learn some more. So first we're going to talk about American oak. American oak is known for its tight grain, and by tight grain, they're talking about the ability of the actual whiskey to be able to flow in and out of the barrel. So as whiskey expands, as it gets hot, the alcohol pushes into the barrel, and when it cools, it gets pulled back into the barrel. So a tighter grain structure means it's harder to push the whiskey through. But what American oak is known for is caramel and vanilla. So again, think bourbon. So American oak is going to give you that. And again, the tighter grain means it's going to take a little bit longer to pull the flavor out of the oak. The next would be French oak. So when I think of French oak, I start to think of exotic. I start to think of spicy. I start to think of fruity notes. So French oak gives you a completely different flavor because the wood grain is much looser than American oak, right? So American oak, it's harder to move in and out. French oak, it moves much easier in and out of the system. So it takes a little bit longer, but you get different notes. Like I said, you'll get a lot of spicy, you'll get fruity, and you'll get a lot of nut flavors. So again, a really unique flavor, completely different flavor profile than that of the American white oak. And the last one is probably the most exotic, which would be your Japanese oak, right? So this would be the rarest of them all. It's a very exotic wood, a very expensive wood, the Japanese oak, but it gives you completely different flavor profiles than that of French oak and American oak. What it gives you is more like a sandalwoody flavor. Coconut is a big flavor you'll see in a lot of Japanese scotches, and it'll give you different spices. When I think spice, I think of baking spices in the US, but you're gonna get more exotic spices with that of Japanese oak. So again, it's really cool in the fact that 3 different barrels give you 3 different trajectories of what the whiskey is gonna taste like, just like where my face points is going to give me 3 different trajectories of where the ball is going to go. The key is to find what trajectory, what flavor profiles you really like, and go explore and enjoy those. But you also got to go push yourself, just like inside of training. There has to be times when I got to say, all right, I want the face to close and I want to miss slightly left. That is face control, right? Ooh, it went in. That is my ability to be able to control where the putter starts. Now I'm going to miss it just right. So I want the face to open slightly right. So again, that is face control, that is whiskey flavor control. So just as a golfer can control the start line by adjusting his motion, by controlling the face, a master distiller can do the same thing by controlling the flavor of whiskey by choosing the correct barrel. Thanks for joining us here at Elevated Pairings by Golfcast. Stay tuned for more episodes where we will continue to explore the connection of whiskey and golf. Until then, may your putts be true and your whiskey be well aged.